And maybe it's because, let me go to you, Art Harris. I mean, you know, I've tried a lot of cases, and I've pled out thousands of dopers, the worst of the worst. There's something about Ronald Cummings and what he's saying from behind bars. He still breaks my heart. Yeah, I think he was selling dope with that Misty Crosland Cummings. But still, to me, see, he's still talking about Haley.
Well, you know, and when I had dinner with him one night down there, Nancy, he was very, very angry, saying the same things now that he said then, that if he ever found whoever did it, he would unleash the revenge of the father.
He would marry them. If he ever found them, he'd marry them, then divorce them. I mean, look, Art, there's an obvious problem. She's the last one to see Haley alive. Her story stinks. I can punch holes in it with a big pen from 1,000 miles away, but yet he doesn't see that. It just seems to me at some point he would have grilled her.
Well, you know, I think he doubted her, Nancy, all along. Here in this interview, he says he doesn't understand how could she hang on to this information if she knew it. She's locked up in this place. I talked to her family. She's afraid. She's lonely. And how could she hang on to this information so long?
Well, she's really going to be lonely in a couple of years. Now we know. Back to Art Harris, investigative journalist at artharris.com. We are taking your calls live. Art, how did this whole thing get started?
Well, Nancy, undercover officers with the Putnam County Sheriff's Department heard Misty was dealing, that they could get drugs from her, and they called and asked if she could deliver. The first deal went down actually 3 days before Christmas. Undercover cop called her and asked for, oxycodone. She said she could get 45 pills, and he had $1,000, only wound up spending $750. Shows up, she takes him. Actually, she and Tommy climb into his car, which is wired for audio and video, and they first go to a bar called the Oasis, and she makes calls. Nothing happens. They then go to a McDonald's parking lot where her source calls, and she...
Art. I take the twins to McDonald's, and we all go to the top of the PlayStation where Mommy gets stuck, and they go up and down the slide while I try to get down. And you're telling me they're doing a dope deal at a McDonald's while I'm inside in the PlayStation?
That's right. And she had to actually go across the street, though, to meet her connection, who got out of she got into a pickup truck, got back into the undercover cop's car, and handed it over. He was very pleased and said he would like to buy more.
Is Donna Brock the connection?
No, at this point, it's Misty being called by police, and she is now striking up a relationship with an undercover officer. Police are telling me they were shocked that he was able to get inside and get close to Misty, and just nobody ever suspected him. Not Ronald.
Let me to you, Art Harris at artharris.com. You've been on the story from the very beginning. Art, refresh my recollection on that dream Misty Crosland had about the night Haley went missing.
She talked about a dream sequence, Nancy, during some of the testing that was done on her by Texas EquiSearch, the hypnosis, the voice analysis, and this was really the first, quote, new detail she offered that bubbled up from somewhere in the recesses of her psyche. So, you know, it's something that then you match up with Junior's recollection of a man in black with squeaky shoes, and Junior, however, at 4 years old, was interviewed by an expert child psychologist who, got the information, but he's too young legally for it to mean anything.
Now, what exactly? She said that in this dream that there were 4 men in the home?
That's what I recall her saying, and that they were just in the trailer, and was she having a party? Was she passed out?
Was she selling dope? For all I can tell, Art, she's out working at truck stops and 7-Elevens all over the state of Florida selling dope.
My question is, how did they get all these drugs? Did they steal them? Because there's not a physician that will write more than 100.
Sheba. How does anybody get them, Art Harris? Are they getting them allegedly from some dentist in Virginia?
It's a combination. I know that she did get them from her friend Donna Brock, who got them from a dentist in Virginia. She told a friend I interviewed, and then had this prescription of 155 Indocet, which is a form of hydrocodone that she wanted Misty to sell because, as Misty told the undercover officer, Donna needed the money. So,
why do you call all these people by first name like they're your best friends? Just curious, don't care, but why?
Well, you know, it
You do that
seems
about
simple.
Simpson. You'd call him OJ. Why?
Well, I think it's just sort of the vernacular. A lot of people do. It's
Don't like it.
What you prefer?
Don't like it.
Huh?
I would prefer you say Crosland or Misty Crosland. Earlier you referred to Tommy, and I'm assuming that was Tommy Crosland, Misty Crosland's brother. Okay, listen, Sheba's question, no doctor would write it. I got 2 words to say. Michael Jackson. There were doctors and pharmacists facilitating his habit, and now he's dead, all right?
Yep.
I blame them.
Absolutely.
Back to the calls.